Imagine being able to sing so beautifully, yet never allowed to fly, and you cannot go higher as you think you can go. Well, this is the reality for birds, or maybe most birds, like the picture on the left. The birds are locked in cages, desperate to go out. And the picture on the bottom left shows that there are so many birds in one cage, and that doesn't allow the bird to even spread their wings without touching each other. Compare it with the picture on the right, where the birds can fly freely and they can be with their community and explore the environment. Next. Good morning, everyone. My name is Samantha, and I'm from Robertsville. So, my research title is about animal training and birds' well-being and the impact of animal training on the birds' physical health in Singapore and in Indonesia. I was inspired because both countries actually have a high considerations for birds. Both countries care and both countries actually train birds. So I start to wonder, does training them actually affect their happiness or not? Next. Birds are an amazing, intelligent creatures who love to socialize, and birds love freedom. But so many are kept in cages, sometimes to do shows and sometimes for contests. This is one of the examples of a contest in Thailand where the birds are locked in cages and they can't seem to do anything. Meanwhile, the other one is to do shows to entertain people. So I start to wonder, does training birds make them happier and healthier, or does it actually cause them to stress out? How can we actually train birds in a kinder and more ethical way without harming their well-being? Next. My research question is, how do Singaporeans and Indonesians perceive the effects of animal training on the bird's physical well-being? I want to understand how both countries see training as something positive, so to make the birds active, or is it actually harming them and causing them stress? By comparing the two countries from Indonesia and Singapore, we can actually see that culture and environment can actually influence the animal care. Next. For the SDG, it's not only about us humans, but it's also about how we treat other God's creation by showing kindness and compassion and fairness. Building zoos and bird parks can actually make the birds have a stronger and more ethical institutions. By raising awareness about human training, we can help create a more peaceful and caring world, especially for the animals. Next. I use 3 theories, which is positive reinforcement, where we can actually reward birds when they train instead of punishing them when they make mistakes. The second one is the well-being theory, where we don't only care about the physical health, but we also care about the emotional health for birds. The third one is the environment and enrichment. Giving toys, space, and natural surroundings can actually make the birds happy, like giving them trees and branches from their natural habitat. Next. Why do I want to research about this? What's my purpose? Well, by comparing how Singapore and Indonesia train birds and how they can view the birds' well-being. It's not only about the training, but it's also about training with love, kind, and patience, not pressure. Learning about this can actually encourage better care and practices and improve the physical and emotional health for the birds. Next. For my data gathering procedures, I was interviewing an expert team both in each country, Indonesia and Singapore. This is a picture of us after interviewing one of the zoo vet in Surabaya Zoo, and I asked questions about deeper understanding about how we can train birds with care and how do we differentiate whether the birds are stressed out or whether the birds are healthy. And And the other data gathering procedures, I use Google Forms with 40 respondents from Indonesia and 40 respondents from Singapore. This Google Forms is actually the overall findings from what people notice in Singapore Zoo and in Indonesia. As you can see the picture below, does the bird have enough space to spread their wings without touching anything? Mostly said yes, which is actually already pretty good. But there is still also some birds that are locked in just cages, and there are birds that are locked in a glass, so that they cannot really go anywhere. Thanks. And this is also one of what I ask is, the birds appear happy and healthy. Does the people actually notice whether the birds is healthy or happy? Most people says agree, but there is still so many people that disagree. So, next. So for my overall findings, training can be done properly if it's done correctly. Having short sessions can make the bird more active and can build trust with the trainers. However, overtraining can cause boredom and can cause the birds to feather pluck and stress, or even cause them fear. To balance it out, we need to treat them with kindness and patience, not by force. Next. For my comparison, Indonesia actually have a smaller zoo for the birds, but we also cannot blame them because it was an old building made in 1916, which they cannot really do much to change the whole area. Meanwhile, in Singapore, it's still a new building, and the birds can actually freely fly, and they can still change so many things because it's a new building. So for the similarities, they both actually keep the birds active by having daily checkup on the birds. Next. To sum things up, doing positive training can actually cause the birds a fact of happiness. And having a good space and environment can also affect how the birds can feel freedom. And the last one is enrichment, which having things from their natural habitats like trees, branches, and toys can actually keep them happier. Next. For their recommendations, as my main theory stated before, trainers and pets owner can use positive reinforcement to provide for the birds, to make sure that the birds is happy. And the second one is to provide natural habitats and environment and give them open space to go free. And the last one is education. We can spread awareness about animals and welfare. We can spread awareness about animal welfare and kindness towards all living things, including animals. Next. For my reflection, though this taught me that we don't just care about animals, I don't just learn about animals, but I also learn about kindness, empathy, and responsibility. And this is not just about data gathering, but this is also understanding life and how we want to take care of it. To close, I want to end with a Bible verse from Proverbs 12 verse 10. It says that the righteous care for the need of their animals, but the kindness acts of the wicked are cruel. This actually shows that kindness shows how we treat even the smallest of God's creatures. Next. So this is for my reference. Thank you and God bless you.